Nation, Sanbonan Bafetu, and welcome back to Football Trends with me, OQB. Now, on today's video, Bafetu, we're going to talk a lot because there's a lot that you need to know about. Obviously, like I've said, I have some good and some bad news. And if you've been here before, we don't start with the bad news. But anyways, Bafetu, before we go into everything, all of it, just give him what he wants and he will succeed. Those were the words of young African's president Mankhumbula Kahle when Nabi joined the team. But anyways, we're not there with you to let's just get back to the video and then we talk about everything. But anyways, before we jump into that, please guys, do make sure to like the video. Each and every video that I post, do make sure to you like it. Doesn't matter whether you've liked the previous one, but each and every video also be with something else. Please do make sure that you like the video. And also, if this is your first time as QB, this is your first time seeing Football Trends QB, just make sure you subscribe to the channel and you click on the bell notification so that next time when I post a new video, you can get notified and then you will be able to hear the updates on everything that I have to give you updates on, just like on today's video. So starting out, I have some bad and some good news. We have the situation of Inácio Miguel. Now Inácio Miguel picked up his 4th yellow card, so meaning he will miss this game. And like I've said, Kaizer Chiefs are going to play this coming weekend against this Kukuno United, and also we're going to play against Polokwane City. Now it might look like Kaizer Chiefs management, that is what they are waiting for, so that they can decide whether they are going to let him go or coach, or they are not going to let him go, depending whether he finishes in top 8 or outside of top 8. So that is something that I think is going to happen. And then bad news in Inácio Miguel, but the good news is, if we go back, you remember we still have a player named Bradley Cross, and if you look at the situation, Bradley Cross did not endanger the safety of an opponent. Instead, he tripped and fell, Bafetu, to be honest. Now the rules are very simple. If the player did not endanger any opponent, Kumbule, before he received the red card, it was 2 yellow cards. So that's how he ended up getting a red card. So he was not sent off because of he injured an opponent, but you can say it was reckless behavior, even though Omjit, I felt like he did not deserve it. For me, I would have given him the man of the match that day, but he tripped and he fell to Umlungu, and then he ended up getting a 2nd yellow card, and then that's where we seen him get sent off. And we were just in the last 8 minutes of the game, because they added injury time, they added about 8 minutes, so that's it. And we were very unfortunate to have him go out. And then now, if the rules are being followed and they're not changing each and every day, because we know the rules, they tend to change each and every day, we might get to see Bradley Cross coming back, even though not yet. They've updated us, PSL, because they were supposed to update us today, I believe, oh no, yesterday I believe, but nothing has come out. So I don't know, but Naganjan, we might get to see him coming back, and those are good news. And then also we're going to talk about George Matlou and what he said about his future at Kaizer Chiefs. Now, unfortunately, guys, this was before we lifted the trophy. If you can see him now, after lifting the trophy, he's been wearing the same jersey, I think, for days, and yeah, they started to question him.
Change your name.
Because Sunday he was wearing the same jersey. They said, I'm fit to go and take a bath. But anyways, let's just quickly jump to what his heart, or what he desires, in terms of his future at the club. So he says, I would love to stay at Kaizer Chiefs. Of course, I will be happier and grateful if I were to stay. So being here at Kaizer Chiefs has been good, and I would love to achieve good things with this team. But for now, the focus is on the remaining games. We want to do well on those remaining games, collect maximum points, and then of course, win the Nedbank Cup, in which they did win the Nedbank Cup. So definitely you can hear there's no player currently really who would love to leave Kaizer Chiefs, but if it's mandatory, then I think we have no choice but to let that player go, just like we saw with TT being let go. And then also we jump into Edmerson Dove. Now I've talked about him. I said it to the Arabian teams who are interested in signing him, and Nakona they're looking with juniors. His contract is coming to an end, and obviously with our side, I don't think Kaizer Chiefs will give him something new. Unfortunately, that's what I think. But so I was, I don't know, but I was hoping by this time we would have signed at least the players that we need, and I'm happy that Kaizer Chiefs have managed to try and make sure they ask, in terms of the players that we need, because it is something. It is something, but we don't need keys just to start knocking at the doors. Masekpeli's cut, that is the problem with Kaizer Chiefs. Most of the time when it comes to signing players, they knock Masegu late, and then they are hoping we are going to get that player, which that is not the case. That is not how the real world works. If you want a player, you make sure anything so that you can be able to sign that player. There are contract terminations, buyout clause, there's everything. So if your guys are serious about signing those players, you will make sure you sign those players. By the way, let's continue with the video bafethu, and then we have Edmondson Dove. We also have wanted Tuba. I was supposed to speak about this part, but guys. So the coaches have said that time we felt the pressure. Peli Pirates manje we are draw, and that was during halftime. That's where wanted to do, but started screaming at other players and saying, Bafetu, we need to work very hard. We need this thing more than anything. So why guys were you not giving the same spirit at the beginning of the season? We need to find other players. Everything is fine. Maybe the coach is the one who's not doing his job very well, but we've seen Bafetu, the combination plays, everything. The coach is doing his job. Now it's down to the players to do their work. You understand? And then also last but not least, Bafetu, before we end the video, we have some bad and good news, and this is the good news to end the video. Now to sum it up, Kaizer Town Jr. has confirmed that the pre-season for this time around, for the 2025 to 2026 season, is going to be held somewhere in Europe, which it gives me confidence. We are going to do something special, because playing in Europe, that is something special. I just wish Kaizer Chiefs can play or train whatever it is that they do mostly with pre-season, because last Bonile they were climbing mountains, isn't this fun? We do it, and then also we get friendly games with teams that are very, very, very dangerous. That would be something great for me, aside in Lami, because that way you will know what time, and I've played with some of the best players, and this is what I can give. Even though we can see that, because when you look at Chiefs playing against Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, it's a different team in total, but playing against those other teams, we become flat. There's no oomph, there's nothing. I do not know what is happening. So these are the updates for Fair2 when it comes to that. And also, you guys, I've promised you something in terms of Faisal Saloon. Now, unfortunately, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, but yeah, we're still waiting, guys. The communications are still there, they're still ongoing, but if there's something, because lately I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting since yesterday. So in terms of that, but obviously I'm still waiting to hear what is going to happen. So one thing I was happy about was the fact that Coach Nazuddin Nabi, when someone, a fan, spoke about players lawa vele awafunayo coach, he started to smile like he knows ukuthi yeah, no ngibanjiwe lana, because now I'm sure he's shocked with how do those guys know that we want those players. Well, it's there, it's always there. There's no way you can keep a secret. Even the day they said Nabi is going out, the news were out there. So this is it, Bafetu. Just don't forget to like the video and make sure to subscribe if ever this is your first time, so that you can be able to get notified when I talk about other things. And also, if ever we sign. But this is it. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to see me on the next one. Peace. Oh guys, and one last thing before I close off the video. This is what I meant when I said Kaizer Chiefs now today are changing the statement, because this is not what we were getting yesterday, but according to them, they're saying he's going to stay. So but for me, I believe if we do not finish in the top 8, we might sing a different tune. But anyways, here is it, Bafetu. Unless it was a marketing strategy, but here's the video.
A vision, we've had a strategy, a lot of work has been done, a 3-year foundation has been laid, the coach has been given the resources that he needs to do what he needs to do. There's been support commercially, financially, with players. So we brought in a technical team that's strong, and we've seen what they've been able to do with the Nedbank Cup, and we believe that these 2 games, the guys will do their best. Ours is to make sure that we continue supporting and making sure that they're successful.
So there's still a lot of confidence in Coach Inácio Miguel's abilities as the coach of this team?
How can we not be confident? I mean, we just won the Nedbank Cup, and he's doing the work that he needs to do.
All right. Well, that's fair enough. So he stays on as the coach. Are we able to confirm that? You did speak about
I think
post-season.
I think in all the interviews that we've had, we've been very clear. I mean, the coach has a contract. He's here with us. We've just won a trophy. We set before the season and had a particular plan. Tech staff has done tremendous work, and he's our coach.
And like any team, you'll sit down and review the season, and still say what needs to change, what needs to be added. But certainly our commitment is making sure that Chiefs is successful.